you ready? The Kornelia Stephanie Show. Wake up to love, your call to action. Join Kornelia as she empowers others to live heaven on earth. Kornelia teaches listeners how to be the authority over yourself, embracing your inner guru. Feel yourself uplifted into limitless expansion, integrating ease and grace in a changing world. This show will cover topics such as unconditional love, your physical body, how to be in extraordinary relationships, create financial and emotional wealth, embracing entrepreneurship in the new earth.
Claudia knew that she wasn't alone. To help others, she recently launched the ebook Breast Reconstruction. What's the deal? The book breaks it all down with humor and heart and helpful tips, because breast reconstruction is like deciding on a new hairstyle, except it involves a surgeon, recovery time, and no fancy salon, but no pressure, right? As a former professional marketing and sales professional, Claudia now dedicates her time to inspiring others to embrace healthy lifestyles, to get out in nature and thrive in the face of life's challenges. When she's not chasing her 3 kids, she enjoys traveling the world and making lasting memories with her family and walking her dog. Welcome to the show, Claudia Pasquale.
Well, thank you so much for having me today and letting me share a little bit of my journey navigating a breast cancer diagnosis at a rather younger age and while raising 3 kids, and the lessons that I've learned along the way, and in hopes that I can inspire others to thrive even if life throws you a curveball.
It's huge because this was many years ago. What did you say, 10 years ago since has it been 10 years?
No, it's been like 2 years actually.
2 years.
I'm a 2 year survivor. That's
Two,
correct. It was like
two
in
years.
2022 when I was diagnosed. So it hasn't
Okay.
been like that long, but it seems a while ago.
Yeah, and what's so great is that, a lot of times when people go through something like that, they don't necessarily document their journey or feel called to, come out, if you will, sharing it with others. And then there are people like you that want to inspire hope and share tools and resources with people when, like you said, when life throws you a curveball. So, do you want to take us back to the day when you were diagnosed and how that rocked your world, and go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was 41 at the time when I was diagnosed, being a mom of 3 young kids. There were 3, 5, and 7 at the time. And I went from being, or I thought at least, I was the picture of health, suddenly hearing the 3 words that nobody ever wants to hear in their life: you have breast cancer. And going from, doing school drop-offs and pickups and just managing your whole household, suddenly I was running from one doctor's appointment to the next and, having to face a lot of tough decisions. And I remember like one of those first appointments, just sitting in the doctor's office, and I was handed this big stack of resources and I was sifting through them. And I just realized that the resources didn't really speak to me as a mom of 3 little ones. And that ultimately led me to create the blog, My Cancer Diaries, to help other women like me to navigate a breast cancer diagnosis and beyond while raising young kids, to create a community and make them feel supported going through such a traumatic event like a breast cancer diagnosis.
So, in your blog, what are you writing about in the blog? What are some of the things that people will find in your diaries?
Yeah, so I just maybe have to go a little bit back. Like when I was going through treatment, I realized that healing was not just about medical care. It was much more about the whole body. It was about body, mind, and spirit. And I realized that. So that was one of the challenges also that I faced. That from my conventional doctors, As I said, like until today, I'm very grateful for Western medicine and for my conventional doctors team because ultimately they saved my life. But I was given very little guidance when it came to alternative treatments. And that was definitely something that I integrated in my blog too, as advice, because I feel like it helped me a lot with coping with all the side effects, which lasted way longer than just the treatment, active treatment phase. And I think every survivor who might be listening to that, or maybe you're a caregiver of a survivor out there, you know that cancer is not really over when the treatment is over. It is a lifelong journey that you're on. And those alternative treatments, they can be I truly believe that they're very, very, very helpful with coping with those side effects. And that is definitely a big part of my blog, like adding alternative treatments, like the importance of lifestyle changes that I've also taken after the cancer diagnosis. Really that whole person healing, because at the end, it's not just about surviving cancer, it's about thriving again. And all these little changes at the end, they can make a big impact. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing that in my blog and in my resources. It's practical tips and tricks, whether it's like, going through the process of the initial surgery or going through chemotherapy, and what can I add, as alternative treatment, knowing that, everybody is different, but at least it's kind of like a guidance, like what can I expect? And, also thinking about like being a mom of young kids, what does it mean? How do I tell my kids I have cancer? That was a big one in the beginning. And I didn't really know how I would tell my kids, where I can find the resources. How can I support my kids? Because that's the first thought that I had when I was diagnosed. It was not really about me. It was more about how do I support my kids through that process as well. And that's something I do talk in my blog about as well. That's
And
it.
you said how old are your kids?
Well, they were 3, 5, and 7 at the time I was diagnosed.
So I'm curious about how did you tell your kids?
I did. So yeah, it was, we were very honest and open about my diagnosis. So it's not like we were keeping information for them, because I truly believe like kids, they sense your emotions no matter what. I mean, they knew that mommy was upset. I was beyond overwhelmed, and I, I, you know, I try to explain to them what it means to have cancer in an age appropriate way. So let's say for my 3-year-old, we had a little Barbie doll that, the hair, it had like a way to take the hair off, like it had a wig and a little beanie. So it's like, explaining them through play, simple children's book that do talk about cancer. And to my older daughter, who at the time was 7, she understood a little bit more what it means to have cancer. So we told them, hey, it's not a simple cold, and it's not something that you caused, that mommy is ill. That was a very important one. And just explaining them that their routine might change throughout the treatment, which,
Wow.
can be temporary. So in simple words,
Yeah.
play, children's books. There's a couple of videos as well that we used. But for my older daughter, we said that mommy has cells, that they're multiplying, and they can spread to other areas in my body, and they need to be taken out. So, because it is important that they get out in the beginning. So it's like step by step, we explained to them, like that was before the surgery. And then my daughter made the connection immediately. She says, well, if you have cells that keep dividing without a control in your body, then, they might spread to other parts in your body. And that could mean that your body can't work. So she said that in her words. And I said, yeah, you're right about that. So she got the gist. It's kind of like, as I said, it depends a little bit on the age, but I think like that playful approach and being open, but then also an important part of, when it came to my children was that I involved their school, their preschool very early on. So the teachers knew that if something was going on with them, like, because you never know how a child reacts to something like this. Because of course they did see me crying at home, like
Of course.
I was completely overwhelmed. So if they would act out, then, the teachers had way to help them through, which they did. So I got support from my school as well and from my preschool.
Yeah, it sounds like, it was the whole family was involved and you surrounded yourself with support and open communication. It's
Yes.
very beautiful. It's very beautiful. I just want to let the audience know how they can find you on social media. What is the URL for your blog diaries and how can they find you? And what are your social media handles?
Yeah, so my blog is mycancerdiaries.com. And you can find me on Instagram at my_cancer diaries. That's where I mostly share tips and inspiration, navigating breast cancer diagnosis, but also beyond, like everything that comes into whole person healing and healthy living and all of that. And my book can be found, my ebook, if you or someone that is going through breast reconstruction as of now, they, take a look at my new ebook, and you can find it also under my link in my bio on Instagram, or I think it's also in the show notes where they can find
Okay.
that.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much, Claudia, for coming on the show. I know it's a short segment, but this is to inspire hope and, give people snapshot of what it is that our guests have done or are doing to, create an amazing life. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. We wish you many good healings and
Thank
continued.
you.
Yeah, and thank you so much. And we're going to take a break on the Cornelia Stephanie Show, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Anne Marie Thrives is here, and she's a human behavioral specialist. She's a coach and a four-time best-selling author, licensed cosmetologist, makeup artist, skincare and self-care enthusiast who is passionate about cultivating an abundance mindset from the inside out, creating lasting, life-transforming habits that will help us and those around us to live well. This combination of expertise allows her to thrive and to help others truly thrive in both their life, physically and spiritually. Welcome to the show today, Anne Marie.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we were talking in the green room and you were talking about mental agility, something that you wanted to focus on in today's talk. But then you also mentioned that you've overcome quite a few things, that you had an accident, you had cancer, and you had various other things that life-threatening challenges that you've overcome. Tell us about that.
I wanted to talk about, as we mentioned, mental agility, because that is the capacity for us to respond to life events in a way that helps us to reason critically while keeping our minds open to multiple options of problem solving, so that when we face a situation, that mental agility helps us to stay open to options that could happen. And one of the things that I teach is that can't is one of the fastest, you know, break screeching things that can happen to your brain when you say that to yourself. So starting with can't kind of puts you in the back seat and you're not driving like you should be.
Yeah, so starting with can't. So how is that played
Can't
out?
Okay, so can't kind of stops the brain, and it eliminates options that you could have by getting into a space of like non-hope. You're not hopeful, you're now in doubt. And so it takes the brain more time to kind of it almost causes like a fog to where you can't see the road up ahead because you're stuck over here and you don't have enough vision because you can't. And so eliminating that from our, our thought processes and coming from a place of hope and continually being in gratitude, self-care, things like that to keep the mind open and the body at a certain level. Because I also believe in, not in a hooey way, but scientifically our bodies are vibrations. And so when we're not vibrating well, that's when disease comes in. It's like 62%, that the lights aren't on, things like that. And so when we're in a situation where there's no hope, it's kind of the same thing. It takes away the doorways in our minds to be able to kind of find workarounds for these things that are coming up at us.
So when a person finds themselves in a place of doubt and fear
Mhm.
and are saying the word, are saying or thinking the words, I can't,
Mhm.
you know, move forward, or I can't do this, I can't keep going, or whatever they would be. What would you have them do in that moment?
Well, first, I teach to shut out the negative so that you can bring in the positive, to be in a state of gratefulness. And once your mind is in that spot and it's not in a place of hope, then it starts to search for opportunities or ways to kind of get out of that room, so to speak. And then I have them just kind of get deep within themselves to look beyond where they are right now, and what they're going to do once they come out of this. Because if you start planning something good, then that kind of diminishes the bad, so that they start to see hope as they start to say, well, I'm going to do this after that. Like for me, when I had, my traumatic brain injury and paralyzation, I told myself, that's what you're telling me. And I appreciate the fact that that's what you're telling me. But, for me, for instance, I'm a Christian. I believe that, my wholeness, is in God's hands. And so based on that wholeness and that hope, because the word says you're not without hope in this world, and that's what can't does. It just cancels out the hope. It's almost like saying an apology to someone and then following it with a but. It cancels out the apology. And then third, it's like, what's within me right now that I can pull out of myself that I could use for this situation? What lessons have I learned? What things, what resources do I have within me? And then like the fourth thing is going and finding like who's been through this before that can help me, who's there that has gone through the situation. I mean, when mine happened 40 years ago, there wasn't the internet, there wasn't all of these things, resources available to us. And so, I just had to find ways and means to be able to get out of this situation. I didn't focus on, when my doctor told me, well, what have other people done that have gone through this? I focused on, okay, well, who were the ones that had a similar injury that were able to walk? What are they doing right now? What's their quality of lifestyle? I focused more on the things that I wanted to become after, the things that I wanted to do. Like, it was just a whole process because even the thought of, trying to move my feet so that, because the way my injury was, it was I had to lay flat. They couldn't do surgery. So that laying flat process eventually led to the healing, then being on a vertical table, then eventually walking with a brace and crutches, and then now no crutches, just the brace. It was like a process. And if we could see a positive process or a positive way, I'm over here, but over here is where my little promised land is, and kind of focusing on that and getting, how do I get there? It is more helpful than for me just looking at the situation as bleak as it is with no, blinders on because it's just so big. I can't even see through that.
Right. Yeah. Wow. That's really powerful. That, the way that you laid it out, it's the process, like you start here and you go take the next step and then the next and the next and the next to get to your vision of where you really want to go.
Yes.
What you're reminding me of is I always say that doubt is actually a dream killer, that if you doubt your vision, if you doubt that you can live your dream, if you doubt that, then that's actually killing your dream. So, releasing doubt, and you're saying releasing can't. Don't use that in your vocabulary. So, what is it that you're doing now? Helping people? You're working with people one on one in groups. How does
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I'm working one-on-one in groups. I have a couple of resources, free resources on my website. Um, 10 vital keys to going from surviving to thriving. And I also have one for business, so they can go to my website and get that. And so I just kind of walk them through the process of, of how you get through from this situation to the next. And I'm glad that you said what you did because doubt does come. And so, it's an okay feeling. What's not okay about doubt is staying there without hope. So you have to replace the doubt with faith, even if it's small, because it increases as we continue being
Right.
faithful.
Right. I mean, having a strong spiritual foundation, I think, is really the sign of the times that we're here to embody, to have that strong spiritual foundation, because, we are creating a new earth. We are creating a new, and there was once all of the things that are not in harmony with our true nature, all those things have to go,
Yeah.
right, so that we can embody and embrace the new. So these are trying times, and at the same time reminding us of how much we're capable of and what are the things that we're going to be able to do. I want to let the audience know the name of your website and also your social media handles.
Everything is on there, and it's basically wethriveatlife.com. So all of my handles are there. Anne Marie Thrives on Facebook, We Thrive at Life 2 on Instagram, but everything is on the website. All of the links are down there as well.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love that last name. Did you adopt that last name, or were you born with it?
I adopted it.
I love it. I
I
love it.
adopted it. Yes, that's like my pen name after I got cancer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fabulous. Anne Marie Thrives. I mean, just feel that and see that. That's fabulous. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and I wish you, many blessings and good luck with everything that you're doing. And we're going to take a break on the Cornelia Stephanie Show, everyone. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the Cornelia Stephanie Show. I have a mother and a son, Debbie and Troy Sutton, here with us today. They're both
Hello.
entrepreneurs, and they are the co-founder of the Healing Bra, a company dedicated to supporting women dealing with breast pain and discomfort. Uh, Debbie, inspired by her own experience and the stories of other women, with her son Troy, helped her develop an innovative medical bra designed to promote comfort, healing, and confidence. Her passion for empowering women and improving their recovery journey has made her a prominent advocate in the wellness and healthcare space. Through the Healing Bra, Debbie continues to provide care and compassion to women navigating the challenges of post surgery life. Debbie currently resides in New Jersey with her husband and loves visiting the beach and reading and cooking. Welcome to the show today, Debbie and Troy.
Hi there. Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's wonderful to have you. So, how did this whole thing get started?
Okay.
Sure. So a couple of years ago, my mom came home from her annual mammogram appointment in the usual amount of discomfort and pain. And as a guy, I wasn't really sure what the mammogram process was like or why she would be in some pain. And so she taught me about the mammogram pancaking process, which sounded excruciatingly, difficult. And I had asked if the hospital gave her any kind of heating or cooling pack to help relieve her breast pain and discomfort. And she said no. So I went online to buy some type of medical device that would help relieve breast pain and discomfort. Nothing existed. So fast forward, we have invented and patented the healing bra, which is a special bra that comes with 4 therapeutic healing pads that can be heated in the microwave and or cooled in the refrigerator or freezer, and then inserted into special pockets designed seamlessly into each cup within the bra in order to help relieve pain and discomfort.
Wow, you have quite the son, Debbie, to be able
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Uh,
Yes, I'm very proud of him. And there was no lead up to this, of course. I guess I was just being rather cheeky when I came home and tried to explain to my whole family of men, this is what we women go through. We're supposed to do this and we do it. But like, if you guys ever had to do, and
yeah.
they cringed. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I'm very proud of Troy and the unlikely inventor of a bra. So it's
Yeah, I
great.
bet that wasn't on your radar prior to that.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, it kind of was on mine a little bit. So I grew up in a family of doctors, but I'm the black sheep engineer of the family. So I was always, my career goal was to pursue biomedical engineering so that way I could design prosthetics for war veterans to play sports. So it
Wow.
was engineering, bio, sports, something that I was very interested in. And so I never lost my interest in creating a device that would help people and improve their health and wellness. So the idea of creating a product was something that I was always very interested in, albeit I did not think that it would be a bra. However, this was the opportunity that came about, and there was nothing like it on the market until
Well,
now.
this is just the first one then.
That's
So that creating the other things that you're going to be creating, there's still plenty of time. Do you all have one to show or not?
Oh, sure.
uh,
Troy, I'll let you do that.
uh,
We just have to go get it. So
yeah.
it's in a box. So I don't have it on
Oh,
display.
don't worry if it's not right there handy, don't worry. What is it that you want to let the audience know today? You have some things you want to share with us. What is it that you want to let them know?
Well, both of us would like you to know and everyone to know that this bra is for every woman of every age, from young teens or entering into womanhood and have monthly pain, to women who are having surgery, women who are pregnant and nursing. Lactation is a big part of this, with promoting flow and then halting it, and then any kind of surgery. And we are very connected with breast cancer foundations for women who are post surgery and beyond, and through that all the way to women who are menopausal and having hot flashes. And you can chill these pads and put them in a bra, and it immediately cools you down. It's just a wonderful thing, and the women that have them say that they're really a game changer.
Yeah, wow,
Absolutely.
that sounds amazing. My first guest was that was on today. She has a blog that's called Cancer Diaries, and it talked
Oh,
about breast cancer. And so that's really amazing that you guys developed this bra, but it can be used for all women in different circumstances. Certainly, the whole bra situation over the years has definitely needed to change from the push-up bras to the underwire. The way that the bras were made was already very uncomfortable and painful for women just to wear those bras, right?
exactly. Yeah.
And then even women that have large size breasts, that's also, heavy and
Yes,
challenging
exactly.
for those
Yeah.
women as well.
Yeah, in fact, we had a a client who was that particular shape of a woman and well endowed. And she said the first thing that I would do is rip off the bra as soon as I got home because it was just so uncomfortable. But now that I have the healing bra, I can just switch it out or wear that one all day and just put the pads in, and it really helps.
That's great. So where is the healing bra? Where do people get it?
So right now we are selling only online through our website, thehealingbras.com. We can also be found on all social media at The Healing Bras. And additionally, one thing that I would also like to add is how we designed the product. And you had mentioned, right, that, no underwire and adjustable strap. So we spent about 2 years, the better part of 2 years, really refining and developing this product. And we partnered along that path with different breast cancer communities, including Sharing and Caring, which is one of New York's largest nonprofit breast cancer communities. And Anna Krill, who is the founder, she's a rock star in this space. Not only is she a two-time breast cancer survivor, but she's also a certified breast prosthetic fitter. So the healing pads that come with the healing bra are based on prosthesis molds that she's developed over the past 25 years for her clients who are experiencing breast pain. So that's where the shape of the healing pad comes from. And then for the garment itself, it's compressive yet supportive and flexible. And there are also 5 hook and eye straps, and the shoulder straps are adjustable from the front. So it's very easy for a woman or it's designed specifically for a woman, to be able to wear it while reducing any breast pain and discomfort. And as part of the product roadmap, we have plans to develop additional styles, including a nursing healing bra, a sports healing bra, a surgical healing bra, which will have different features specifically to help with those instances. So
that's so great. Who came up with the name healing bra?
I think that was just something I kind of like threw out there, and Mom thought it was a great idea. I know we bounced a couple of things back and forth. We actually then trademarked the healing bra and the healing bras, and we did receive a patent for the healing bra product itself.
It's fabulous.
Thank you.
It's fabulous. The name is fabulous because, as we're talking here now and we're sending the audience to go look up the healing bra, it's something that will stick in people's brains. They're not going to forget it. So it's not like, even if they're driving and they're listening to this, it's not like they're going to forget what was the website called. So it's a great name. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I wish you much success with, rolling this out. So how long have you all been in business now with all of this?
Well, we officially launched in May of last year, so a little over 6 months. We've spent about, like I said, 2.5 years on product development and research and different aspects of building the business like that. But we are a new company, so we are looking to grow, right, and sell some bras and also partner with different nonprofits and continue to donate bras to women in need who might need it. So please, if you are listening, please reach out to us. We would love to connect and talk with anybody who, might think of an organization or a nonprofit who might be able to benefit with this product.
Yeah. What is your social media? How do people get in contact with you?
So again, the website is thehealingbras.com, and we are on all social media, including Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, The Healing Bras. So that's where you can find us.
Good. Well, this is the first time I've ever had a show. I've been doing shows for many years, and first time. So I wish you much success, and it's a welcome product, obviously, that the women don't even really know yet that they've been calling in, right? So I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I wish you much success. I'll go check it out myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's an honor to be a part of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on the Kornelia Stephanie Show. Welcome back, everyone. Our next guest today is Tammy Adcock, and from being a domestic abuse survivor to certified high conflict divorce coach, Empowering Women Navigating Narcissistic Abuse in Divorce and Custody Battles. Welcome to the show today, Tammy Adcock.
Thank you, Cornelia. I'm really excited to be here.
Yes, my goodness. So you were telling me in the green room about how your story had you develop a business, and it was also your calling. Right. And so
Yes.
it came full circle. So tell us about it.
Well, like I said, when I opened my doors, because I opened right in the middle of COVID, it was to be the person for others that I didn't have when I began my high conflict divorce from a narcissistic abuser. And so when I say every step that is laid out has been exactly when it's supposed to happen, that's how it's been. So when I started in COVID, it was perfect because the abuse rates increase around the holidays, or when, like an epidemic, people are kept home, so they're together more. So the violence increases. And so because I was doing Zoom only, women were able to go to a park in their car and get on Zoom instead of a phone call, which an abuser could track and say, well, did you call this number? Who is this? Call the number and find out that it's a coaching service. Why are you getting coached? And so I had plenty of people that coached from their cars because of a safety feature. And so I was happy to be able to bring that to them. But as the years have gone by, this is coming into year 4, I realized without my own story that I would have not found my calling. And so that's how I came to be. At a little background. I basically was referred to a group called One Mom's Battle with Tina Swithin, and our battle started about the same time. So I felt kind of comfortable to say, okay, this lady gets it, as I began to do more and more research, because 13 years ago, you didn't hear a lot about narcissism. I didn't know a lot about domestic abuse. My parents themselves had been married now for over 50 years. So it was all new to me. And so with that, as I began to research and follow her, I realized I was in company of people who got what I was going through. It wasn't just a simple divorce where you divorce, you share your kids, maybe you even surprise them with a birthday together or a Christmas together. It was, as I can only explain it, hell on earth. Wow. And so as I began more into this group and realized that I was in good company, but yet so many people still didn't know, when I went to use my local resources, Voices of Hope, I was basically told that my story was one of the worst that they had heard. And so as I got the help I needed, I knew I wanted to give back. I knew I had to give back. And so all of a sudden, Tina Swithin sent us a message that said, what do you guys think about taking over my coaching? And wow. I thought, what? And she said, I want to go into advocacy work where I'm advocating more for change in legislation and the law. Wow. And she said, so I would like to start a coaching program. And at the time, I didn't know where the funds were going to come from, but I just felt it's one of those moments where you feel pushed out of your seat and out of your comfort zone. And so I got certified, and I didn't open my business right away. I was still very much in the thick of things in my own case. And then I just said, okay, let's go for it. And so I opened my doors January of 2022, and I haven't looked back. And the things that have actually happened through this, I can't even explain. November election of this year, we brought to the governor here locally, and he made November Family Court Awareness Month, because the courts are not educated when it comes to narcissism. and what that entails when you keep going back to court again and again. So, like I said, all the women that have come through my door have just thanked me profusely, and I'm very humbled to walk this journey with them day in and day out. And just recently, since I signed up with you, I have now also opened what's called Empower Voices, and it's an advocacy so that I will not only help women to learn to tell their story, but I'm also willing to tell their story in the Empower Voices that I'm doing. So just new things keep coming out of it on a continual basis, including you.
Yeah, I think I love how that all came together. It's just not, our paths aren't linear. It's not like we're going to go from A to Z. It's in a circular way, in a spiral, going up the spiral, and then we can, we get the next piece and we get the next piece, and obviously you are ready for this and you want to serve and you want to help. And so more and more opportunities are finding you. And I think that's so wonderful that you said yes, and that it takes courage to be able to, share your story and to be that voice to help women, to help people. And it's a huge, what is the word I'm looking for? Domestic violence, that whole thing, domestic violence, narcissism. This is a huge thing. And so you're obviously now helping women to gain greater self-love, greater self-respect, greater healing, and want more for themselves.
Yeah, I definitely want more for each survivor that I've worked with so far. And I just feel like the stories that I've been placed in the middle of, I see transformation in them from where they started to where they are now. But a lot of them, I also see my old self. And that inspires me to know that if you don't know what it's like to be traumatized, you may miss what that person really is. Hurt people hurt people. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times when sometimes they come to you lashing out, it's not at you. It's because they feel so out of control in their situation. And feel so blessed every single day to come alongside each person that is sent my way.
That's so good. Now, how does it work to work with you? How does that work? I know you have social media handles, but also like, how would one contact you? And also like, it takes courage to make that call.
Yes, it definitely does. So many of them do it by email or a form that I have on my website, which is www.adcockcoachingllc.com. And that kind of breaks it in for them. It gives them a blog, shows them just kind of transparency about what I'm about. And then I have been blessed to also have a Google business profile that lets them know the experiences that other clients have had so that they know they're not alone. They're not the first person trying this. And I have been blessed to work with some amazing women who have thanked me profusely in their reviews. And so I've also basically everything that I have so far is by word of mouth referral. Because I always say that everybody knows somebody that's in an abusive relationship. And so I'm also educating people on making that not a taboo conversation so that they can reach out to somebody they know and share my information and be that person who helps them get started to healing.
Yeah. Let's tell everybody the website again.
www.adcock, A as in apple, D as in door, COCK, coachingllc.com. And again, if you would like to reach out by phone, it's 531-310-1061.
Yeah. I think it's so wonderful, what you're doing and that you were called to do this and that you're making yourself available. and it sounds like all the people that are meant to find you will find you. I'm certainly glad that you came on the show today and that I now have you as a resource so that when I need to send people your way, then I will be able to do that. So I want to thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Kornelia, and I really appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you so much. I want to thank also the audience for listening and tuning in. And we'll see you all again next week, Friday, everyone. Take good care. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Kornelia Stephanie Show, Wake Up to Love, your call to action. Tune in each week on Transformation Talk Radio. Kornelia's joy is to engage others in practical ways, showing us how to live in the new earth in harmony with our true nature. For more information on Kornelia and her extraordinary work, or to listen to past shows, go to her website at korneliastephanie.com.